Feeling like you're chasing an impossible dream of financial success, yet still feeling unfulfilled? You're not alone. In today's culture, we are constantly bombarded with headlines of billionaires, the Forbes list, and success stories that seem to define worth by net worth. The narrative is simple. If you're not striving to be the next Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or Mark Zuckerberg, you're falling behind. But here's the truth. Behind the glamorous images of private jets, super yachts, and sprawling mansions lies a far more complex reality. The billionaire myth isn't the universal definition of success. In fact, it often blinds us to what truly matters: fulfillment, impact, time, freedom, and the quality of our human connections. The obsession with billionaire status is a relatively modern phenomenon. A century ago, wealth was admired, but it was not constantly displayed and glorified the way it is today. Media, especially social media, has amplified the myth, turning financial giants into cultural icons. Their lives are dissected, their routines studied, their every move interpreted as a key to the secret of success. But what often gets lost in this conversation is that billionaires represent a statistical anomaly. Out of nearly 8 billion people in the world, fewer than 3,000 are billionaires. That means less than 0.0004% of humanity. And yet, this tiny fraction of the population dictates the aspiration of millions who will never enter that club. The question is, why do we equate this extreme rarity with the universal definition of success? Research shows that wealth beyond a certain point does not correlate strongly with happiness. A Princeton study by Daniel Kahneman and Angus Deaton revealed that happiness levels increase with income up to about $75,000 a year in the US. Beyond that, the correlation weakens. More recent studies suggest that financial security does improve well-being, but exponential wealth doesn't guarantee exponential happiness. Billionaires are not immune to depression, loneliness, or dissatisfaction. In fact, the golden cage they live in can often strip them of privacy, genuine relationships, and freedom from constant scrutiny. The idea that financial power alone equates to joy is a carefully polished illusion. Think about it. What good is having billions if you don't have time to enjoy your health, your family, or your passions? Countless stories exist of entrepreneurs who sacrificed everything for financial gain, only to find themselves empty at the top. Steve Jobs, one of the greatest innovators of our time, reflected in his final days on how wealth and accomplishments could not buy him more time. He famously said that being the richest man in the cemetery doesn't matter. This perspective shatters the illusion that money alone is the ultimate goal. Of course, wealth has its place. Financial resources can create opportunities, provide comfort, and enable impact. But the narrative that billionaire wealth is the pinnacle of achievement ignores other equally valuable dimensions of life. Success can be about creating meaningful relationships, contributing to society, mastering your craft, or leaving behind a legacy of kindness. For some, success might be having the time to watch their children grow up, or the freedom to travel, or the satisfaction of serving their community. These forms of success don't make headlines, but they create lives rich in meaning. The cultural obsession with billionaires is fueled by common misconceptions. First, the idea that money equals happiness. Studies consistently disprove this once basic needs are met. Second, the belief that billionaires have unlimited freedom. In reality, many are bound by responsibilities, obligations, and the constant pressure of maintaining their empire. Third, the idea that wealth equals impact. Yes, billionaires can fund global projects, but everyday people, teachers, doctors, activists, artists, create impacts that ripple across generations without ever appearing on a rich list. The nurse who saves lives during a crisis, the parent who raises compassionate children, the artist who inspires millions. These are also monumental contributions. In 2025, As society evolves, it's time to redefine success. Instead of measuring it solely by financial metrics, we should measure it by alignment with values, fulfillment, and contribution. The gig economy, remote work, and technological shifts have given people more flexibility to design lives around passion rather than only profit,